it's fantastic. I mean, I haven't been to bed yet because it's still 10 o'clock at night over here in America, but it's just fantastic. They fully deserve it. Eddie has been tremendous since he's got to the club. And as KK said, we get our club back and we've got it. And they thoroughly deserve to be in the Champions League. The atmosphere, the ownership, the fans, the city. There'll be a few sore heads up there. There'll be a few aliens walking around there this morning going into work. So, yeah, they'll be good. They'll be looking forward. So I'm just so happy for everybody up there because, Ali, you know what it's like, and Laura, you know what it's like up there. They love their football, and all they want to do is get behind their team. And as I said, they've got their club back now, which is fantastic.
It's really wonderful. Well,
I've got to say, I'm lucky enough to be up there a few times this season, and as you expect, you touched on it there, the atmosphere within the stadium's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic it is. I'm going to ask you something, Warren, and I asked one of the boys yesterday, is Eddie, I don't know, it's strange how you put this, is Eddie giving himself a little bit of a problem in the respect that he's probably, in my opinion, well ahead of where he maybe, and the Newcastle fans maybe expected to be? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's totally fair, Ali. I think it's, but you take it when it comes along.
Of course.
I mean, he's been a class act, on and off the field, the way he conducts himself, his coaching staff with him. These players are going to run through a brick wall. Me and Alan Shearer was talking when we was at the cup final about the next level is about dealing with, big time players, expectations coming along. But let's enjoy it. We had 14 years of misery and just enjoy this moment. He's put a lot of people in their place saying about that he couldn't handle it. But I love the fact that, when he got out of football, he wanted to get better. He went and educated himself, and he deserves everything he gets in football. Whatever happens at Newcastle, he'll be a legend up there, and he deserves all the respect he gets.
Warren, I was reading the Mail this morning. They picked up one of the comments that they made last night about last night was a half-time, the crossbar challenge. So Amanda Staley came onto the pitch. There was also Jamie Rubin was on there, another co-owner. They'd taken the crossbar challenge at half-time, and the Mail makes the comment of, imagine the reception if it was Mike Ashley that went onto the pitch at half-time to do the same. It would be completely wild, completely different. What this ownership has done, and I understand with clubs, of course, you can say, yeah, put money into any club, X, Y, Z. But I think it's a little bit different with this ownership because there's a real unification between the fan base, the ownership, the players. I think that's something that I particularly find quite delightful to watch with what's going on at the moment in Newcastle.
Yeah, they get it. They get the football club. Whether it's a coincidence or not, the first time they started cleaning the windows in the stadium, and they understand they're supporting the women's team up there. I've never known an ownership, and I've been in the game a long time, that has brought a whole city and a region together. Normally you bring a club together, you bring the fans and the players and the coaching staff together, but they've brought a whole region. When they took over, the fans didn't know who they was, but there was celebrations outside the stadium in October. And I think I know the fans love them now to what they've come against, what they've supported the club, and they're thoroughly enjoying it. Amanda and all on the field, they're part of the team. But like Ali said, the expectations are high. They want to do well. I've had a little bit of interaction with the ownership, and they're good people. They want the right thing for the club. But now they're in with the big boys, and that's all we've ever wanted, to compete, to challenge. We failed in my time. We was up there. We've come second twice, and a couple of other cup finals we lost. It'd be lovely to get a little bit more success up there. But it's a brilliant time to be a Newcastle fan. And as I said, they've had 14 years of nothing, and now they've got something to really be proud of and looking forward to it. And that comes with the ownership.
Warren, what about, you touched on it there, and it is great to see them back really competing at the top level. What is the next step, or what's it going to take for Newcastle to get to the next step? And that is obviously beating in the final this year with Manchester United and now in the Champions League. But what's it going to take in terms of their squad for them to make the next step, win a cup, or indeed compete for the title?
Yeah, I think, Ali, being in the Champions League, they would have had certain players they would have identified like A, B and C. Maybe the A ones may not be in there if you end up being in Europa. But now the wider range has come along of players. There'll be a philosophy. They're not just going to go out and spend money aimlessly, but they get the right players. You look at Eddie's profile that he wants big, strong, athletic, powerful players. Someone like Jude Bellingham comes into that. Now they're in the Champions League. Okay, everybody says he's going to Real Madrid, and he probably would do, but that's how now the ownership can be looking to do that. They need depth, and they need a few X factors. There's no doubt when they played Arsenal, they come a little bit short. there's an area, and I think someone asked me this from the local paper up there. They need depth all over. It's not the players that you've got now that are just coming in to take places. You're going to have, obviously, Premier League football. You're going to have the FA Cup competition, and now Champions League. So you're going to need depth. But what it does, it gives you a bigger range of players that you can go and pull into it, because everybody would have seen that atmosphere last night. Everyone would have heard the roar and the celebrations that the fans have been doing. To be part of that now, Ali. I mean, to be part of that for the next 10 years, where before you would have had no chance. And, it's so exciting for the fans to look at these players that are coming along. And, as I said, they need to build. There's no doubt about that. But what a lovely time to be a Newcastle player going into it in an atmosphere like they are at St James with 52,000 behind you.
Fantastic, mate. Listen, thanks for coming on, Warren. Hopefully we'll get you in the studio perhaps next time you're back, mate. It'd be great to see you.
I'd love to see you, but you never make it in the studio, do you?
That was a low blow. That was an unbelievable.
Laura told me to say that because she gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get in.
I'm taking a standing count on that one, mate. You've done me in there.
You are welcome anytime, Warren. Thank you so much.
The truth always hurts, Ali.
It does, mate. You take care. You're not getting in the studio after that. See you later on, mate.
Warren, thank you so much.
Take care. Bye, Laura.
Brilliant. Thank you. Just before we go to break, a note on Amanda Staveley. Do you remember a Carabao Cup final, Newcastle against Manchester United? Amanda actually got me tickets, me, my dad and my brother, to go and watch that cup final, and it was just, and even though they lost, it was the most amazing day. And she didn't have to do that. I just thought she's really wonderful. Warren was there that day, Alan Shearer was there, Ryan Taylor was there as well. Yeah, it was a really wonderful day.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.